different sides of, well, hell, I was in a whole nother country.
Yeah.
I was in Jamaica, man. Everything was Irie. I still got my Bob Marley shirt on, man.
Yeah, you sure do.
And you went to California.
I was out in California. Shout out to everybody who went to the Merge Summit in Los Angeles. Great summit. Shout out to Holly Cotter, Robbie Reed, all of the people who came about. And next year I will be dragging Denise because she...
You don't have to drag me. It's just that we had a conflicting schedule. I would love, when you came back and you told me some of the stories, I would love to do that next year.
I thought about not saying anything, but what I learned at the Merge Summit is that you don't have to hoard anything. You always share. So
why wouldn't you share it with me?
Because I just didn't. No, I was gonna share with you, but with YouTube and stuff. Because I was like, I just don't like telling my business and stuff like that. But if y'all are out there and y'all really serious about doing acting, music, entertainment, whatever, vlogging, life, if you want to just be inspired, the Merge Summit is where you need to be. Google Merge Summit. You need to be out there. There were so many people in the entertainment industry, not just the people who are actors and actresses, but I'm talking about the people behind the scenes who are in engineering, accounting, being a producer, all that kind of stuff. The people who really have all the multi-million-dollar money.
My hair
y'all need to get there.
Has never been the same. I've been calling since Jamaica, baby. I've been calling my stylist like, girl, pick up. Yeah. But fun.
I saw y'all. Yeah.
Oh, we had fun.
Yeah, I didn't really take pictures out in Cali because I was out there on a visit, trying to see about getting in this entertainment industry. But shout out to everybody who I met. I can't go through the names. A lot of them on my Facebook. And to everybody at the Merge Summit, y'all look that up. Go for your dreams. Do your thing.
It's out there.
And speaking of preachers of LA, how about this? God set this up. I was able to meet Loretta.
First Lady Loretta. That's what you call her. First Lady Loretta.
She's not a first lady, but shout out to Loretta. Loretta was nice. I went up to her. I said, we do a review. I like you, blah, 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 on the show and everything. And the first thing she said, are you guys giving me a hard time? I'm like, no.
Let me tell you. Look, Loretta, Denise is going to keep it real. We used to until we realized, until we realize you gotta let people live their life and do whatever it is that they want to do, and if it works for them, it works for them.
Exactly.
But we stopped giving you a hard time before you even actually gave you a hard time.
No, Loretta is, let me tell you, just as nice, sweet,
welcoming,
very friendly person.
And you said you were going to meet her. See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Putting all these positive thoughts out into the universe.
Yeah.
Setting up your day. Even if you wake up in the morning and write down 5 positive things.
Yeah, I did say I was going to meet Loretta.
I said, meet her.
Out of all the stars I saw out there, I only wanted to meet Loretta and go to see my bishop. I was like, man, and I met her. I did.
And then a week before, you met Bishop.
I met Bishop. Bishop came down the lane. Bishop Noel.
you
create your life, man. I'm telling you, you create your day.
All this,
command your money.
He making me, and she making me, and my mama making me, and my daddy. No.
Exactly.
You.
And Loretta definitely, she was nice, welcoming. And next time we go out there, when I go out there, probably before the conference again, I'm definitely gonna go to JJ's Bistro, her restaurant, and check out some of the food.
Love LA.
I love LA.
And New York.
And Vegas. And Dallas, and Atlanta's okay, but I love those places more. But I love LA. I was out there. I was from Compton all the way to Glendale and everything in between. I'm serious. Beverly Hills. I'm like, who does this? I'm in Beverly Hills and I go to Compton, then I go to Inglewood, and I'm just downtown, just like chilling, man. Let me tell y'all, life is good.
Life is what you make it, and don't allow life to keep you from living. See, that's what people do. They, let things that happen in life keep them from living. No. That was yesterday. Today is today.
Exactly.
On.
Yeah, and I did my Runyon Canyon. I got to hike up Runyon Canyon. So all that was good out in LA. Speaking of LA, Preachers of LA, truth be told, Season 2, Episode 2. Yeah, this episode was really good. We just want to talk about just the main points. Really, I want to know is what's going on with Pastor McClendon. We see him, then we don't see him, but I'm getting off of that. But I'm getting off of that. But thank God for Pastor McClendon and his wife and his family out in Tulsa, Oklahoma, because I know that's where y'all live at. But definitely Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it just goes back. I think remember we said the whole thing for the whole season was gonna be judging and getting things out, and it was conflicting to me today. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess I shouldn't use that word because it was two different, pastors or whatever.
Pastor J, Pastor Gibson.
But, Pastor J said he was going to stay with the guy that was addicted to drugs until he could help them. And then you have Ron and his wife saying, you know what, we can't be around you because y'all going to taint us. Yeah.
Loretta. And that's the two things I want to talk about.
And Bishop Jones had his hater blockers on. He was like,
I know. My Bishop is so cool. I ain't going to tell y'all. Look, let's get into this. Pastor Jay Hazel and his wife, I really like them because it seems like when it comes to the outreach on this show from last season and even from this season, it always starts with the Hazlips. So we see that they meet this young guy, Justin, who hits rock bottom, down and out, and they really work with him to try to get him, to a place where, he's back on his feet and to get him to come to church and all this kind of stuff, which is good. Now, one thing I like about Pastor J is that Pastor J, and I can't just say, let me say, Pastor J, he gets out there and he goes and he helps and he gets it done. Just like Pastor Gibson does. He'll go back to Compton, Inglewood, and help those gangsters and gangbangers. I love that. And that's what I want to see, the redemptive side of the show. I want to see that. I want to see outside of, what pastor's doing this or what church is doing this and the flashy cars and everything.
In the songs.
Exactly.
That they're singing.
In the songs that they're singing, yeah.
The thing is, and this is through, you can see it rampant on social media. You can see it rampant in front of you. People, and I keep saying this, people are hurting. And we need each other. We need people that can help each other. You know what I mean? Even if you can't even be there to the end, show someone or even share your story, point someone in the right direction for this help instead of trying to condemn them or make them feel even worse than what they already do.
Yeah, yeah. And that's one thing I like because Pastor Jay, it seems like he's really there. He's going to stand by, even though they kind of feel maybe Justin is beyond hope, but they're going to stand there and they're going to help. And I really appreciate that. And I think that's what more churches, should do. And I can't say more churches, but more people who say they are followers of Christ. That's what you should do because you don't need a church to start a movement.
And that's
you
why
be the example.
I love my mom so much because you can think back to when you were probably a problem child. Maybe some of you guys weren't. I don't know. Perfect. But if she would have given up on me.
Exactly.
Or, you know what I mean? Or you can just think of someone who saw the best in you and just never gave up on you.
Exactly.
So you can try to pay that forward as much as you can. Now, some people, I don't know. I don't want to say that because I think everyone, deserves a chance, but you're going to have some that just won't get it from me or vice versa. But just to have someone that sees so much greatness in you that won't allow you to stay where you are.
Exactly. And that's wonderful when you have that. And, again, I saw Lady Maisha and Cheney out in LA too, so shout out to them too.
Looking good.
Lady Maisha. Woo! Bishop Cheney. You're a lucky man. So, yeah, let me get off of that. But anyway, let's get to what we really want to talk about. Leave my bishop alone, man.
I think it's something. It's something more than whatever you say in his images. It's something more. I don't know if he thinks he's going to lose his best friend in Bishop because he even went there and saying, you know what, you controlling him. I see you controlling him. So I'm like, wait a minute. What is this really about? You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
What is this really about?
Well, First Lady Levette and Ron, they still have this ongoing issue from first season, thinking that Bishop and Loretta are, they're in a relationship. And they're having sex. I mean, but I think he stepped out of line calling her Jezebel. Come on, man. I understand turning up for cameras and stuff, and everybody on reality TV does that, and you need it. But, that was going a little too far. And you seen her reaction was like...
Oh, yeah, she always holding her own.
Yeah, she always... Now, that's one thing I could say. Loretta is a sweet person, kind, generous, but that's kind of like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're sweet, kind, and people don't think that other side will come at you, and then when they come, they be like, well, I never knew that
she's so knit. No.
Yeah.
I'm so what you want.
Exactly.
I'm going to give you the Jennifer you want.
Exactly. But I really think that Ron he wants some answers, because I can see it on the Christian, you know, if you're a pastor and you have this 16, 17-year relationship, I can see that most people think that you have people who are following and looking up to you, that what is this? Are you guys just friends? Are you sexual? Is this because there are other women out there who want to get at you to possibly be the next Mrs. Jones?
But you're not who been called for me. Mrs. You're not who has been called for me. And I guess I can see that on that room because we're close.
Yeah.
But if you say something to me and you be like, you know, Denise, I got it, leave me alone. I'm leaving it alone. You know what I mean? I'm not going to keep going because I don't have no strife. I don't have no beef with you. Like, I feel like this is some hidden beef.
Yeah, yeah.
It's more to it than you want to know who she is, because she's been around for 16 years, so you already know who she is. It's more to it. What?
Yeah. But I think what's going on with Bishop Ron and Lady Levette is that they feel that they probably, and Bishop Ron has done this on other talk shows and when they've done publicity for the preachers of LA. I've heard him say this myself. When asked about Bishop Jones, if he and Loretta are in a relationship, you know, is there, you know, adultery or anything? Not adultery, but, you know, fornication. And he said, no, Bishop Jones told me myself. So he is taken up for him when asked on these interviews. But I think now he thinks that he's put himself out there and he really wants to know the status of their relationship. But my thing is, if this is something you've been asked in interviews prior to second season, why are you putting this on camera?
Mm-hmm. And what's it to you? Like she said, and I felt the same exact way before Loretta even said it. What part of this is your business?
Yeah. Yeah.
What part of it is your business?
But do you think the Gibsons come off as being, especially his wife, as being kind of like, you know, that
too invasive and thinking they're too,
like they're a little better and they're
and that's fine if your spirit is condemning you or whatever for hanging around me because I'm just a little bit different from you. That's okay. Don't hang around me.
Yeah, yeah. And I understand that, but like I said, my bishop was very cool, calm, and collect. And like he said, my bishop is like, my business is my business. Let me tell y'all something. That's why I love my bishop. I love like his teachings and everything, because no one is going to intimidate him. And no one's going to come and say, you know, because of this, I'm not going to fellowship with you, and then that's going to be the end of you and your ministry. When you know who you are, and you know God knows who you are and what you're doing, you don't owe nobody else an explanation.
Because what about the ones that are putting up the fake facade?
I know.
Or like we always say, getting married.
I know.
And then going home, telling their wives, not even telling them they'll be back, just leaving the house, and then going to be with their secret lover.
Exactly.
Male or female, or both. Or even going to trapeze and just having a good old time. You know what I mean? So, it's like, are we so, you know, gung-ho with the image that we don't care about the reality of it? And when we give you the reality of it, you still just want that image.
Exactly.
So as long as I give you the image, you're okay.
Exactly.
So that goes back to the truth be told. Do we even want it to be told?
But I can see where, like I said, where Bishop Ron Gibson is coming from and First Lady Yvette, because they do think when you have churches, and a lot of people are wounded going to churches from relationships and everything. Like I said before, I can see where they say, you know, if the pastor's, you know, one way, then that let the whole congregation be one way. Because I've been in ministries where a pastor had a nasty attitude, and that attitude prevailed throughout the church. You had people in the church who were just nasty for no reason. The pastor had some issues, and you had people in the church. I'm like, it starts from the head and it flows through. I do believe that. And that was one reason why I left that church, because you're going to be clicking on me for no reason if your life messed up.
And I'm still putting money in the plate.
I know, right? So, you know, it's like, I believe this.
It's going to come up short. That's what it
I know, seriously. So I believe that
take my money and other people's money and go
exactly. Exactly. So I believe that that's what is really happening, is that people are saying, you know, you probably set the standard and it's okay not to be married and to do whatever.
Are they really just jealous because they want her spot and they feel like she's in the way, and if she's gone, I have a chance?
Yeah, and like my mom said that about Loretta, and when I told my mom I met her, and I was like, you know, she was nice and blah, blah, blah. My mom said a lot of people, especially a lot of women in the church probably, you know, some people wish they could be her, wish they had that position. When you're strong and you doing stuff and you making it, it doesn't matter if you first lady, is celebrity or whatever. You could just be average Joe Schmo. People get intimidated and jealous by people who know what the hell they put here on this earth to do.